application of consciousness by numbers in the logical part of our brain, and also linked to the spirituality part of the third level consciousness, which is Christ consciousness, or the galactic consciousness as I call it. As you can see here, I have a very interesting graphic which has many applications. First of all, that's the pi ratio, which is equivalent also to the logarithm asymmetric spiral, and the Star of David, which is also our heart chakra, and it's also 1.68, etc., of pi. So it's very important that you start to follow me so we can give the best for everybody to understand the reason of why alchemy singing bowls today in now time are so important. First of all, I am going to do the application of consciousness. Why? Because everybody has heard that we are transforming consciousness. But what does that mean? And how does that happen? How do we make it happen to be in each one of us? Because we need to understand the youngsters, the new race kids of planet Earth. They have a different consciousness. So I am going to explain as fast as I can. Consciousness is the way that we act, the way that we feel, the way that we think, in a way that we don't create conflicts. See? When we don't create conflicts, it's the first starting point of our kind of behavior, so we can shift what? The absorption of light. That all alchemy goes, this is a diamond one, because quartz works the pi ratio, which moves exactly our DNA is moving in the pi ratio also. So when this is moving in the pi ratio, then we have the essence or fingertip of God in His creation. 0, 1 in the pi ratio, but the only one that works geometry is the pi. It's a number and a geometrical figure. So why are geometrical figures important in consciousness? Well, as I told you, it's important the way we think, act without conflicts and feel. Then we can start the shifting, because we are going to be able to resonate with the human 14 Hz rotation and translation movement of planet Earth. Just imagine 14 Hz. So 14 Hz will be the mirror image of the Merkaba, which is the clockwise movement of energy or light when we go from past, present to future, and it has a positive charge, which will be an opaque gold. And it's also the magnetic field of our atomic system and of our planet Earth, the magnetosphere, which is at 14 Hz. So it means it's 1 octave off of 7.83 Hz of before. So now the planet has been moving like this. This is the pi that the magnetic field is created by the rotation and translation movement of planet Earth. So it's pulling up at 14 Hz our magnetic field, where is the positive charge, the karma. But now the karma is so fast liberated. But the electric field, which are the transparent balls that download the photons, I mean the quantum is downloaded by less acceleration of the vibration to the physical reality. We have two realities, the physical and the invisible. The one that we see with five senses and the one we don't see with our paranormal senses, which is on 40 Hz off. So this is very important, so we can have a more expanded multidimensional consciousness understanding of why the balls have everything. They work the pi without any measurement of octaves. It has been measured by a friend of Paul in Germany, and it continued playing, and the device stopped because it couldn't go any further in octaves. So it's because it's a transcendental knowledge that goes infinite. You see, even a computer doesn't ever finish with pi. See? So what I want you to start realizing and observing, that you are here sitting down in a physical reality, but you are not touching your feelings. That is the fourth dimension. It's the subconscious mind, it's the astral plane, and it's also the emotional field. That according to my matrices, and I am the only one in the world that does this work, I am working to transform new physics since 40 years. I started as a teenager. And it is a unified system of measurements in order to pull up the one consciousness, which is the third level consciousness, which will be 1 plus 1 plus 1 will be 3. And this is the pi. When it is going down, this is the positive charge, and here will be the negative charge. So you understand the electric and magnetic fields that are intrinsically evolving in the past, in the macro world, to Lira Vega constellation of Lira, the son of Vega. UFOs of Lira Vega are here, they are helping us and others. So it's very important that you start to understand one thing. Our consciousness is due to the application I do of time. Because you have felt that our timing is not the same as before of our everyday living. And if you have noticed that, you can understand that something is happening. Well, the rotation and translation movement, which creates a magnetic field, or the pi, it's going to 14 hertz, and it's now on 16 hours of what before it was 24. Why? Because we are going, and we are already in fourth dimension at 300,000 kilometers per second. All of us have a body that is always represented in each dimension and dimension. It goes clockwise, the Merkaba flow, from past to future with a positive charge of space and time. And the counterclockwise comes, the Merkaba comes from future to past. And what goes on there? Okay, my definition of time, it's intrinsically not separated from geometry. That is a breakthrough, and it's coming along after Einstein said that gravity was a curvature of space-time. It's true, but anti-gravity is really the curvature, because it's the one that goes to a higher frequency. See? When we have more gravity, we don't produce anti-gravity. That means Dharma is anti-gravity of the pure heart, the chakra heart, which is a pi to it. So these symbols mean that the asymmetric logarithm of pi is the representation of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, of the bows, which have a light or sound filament that you are connected. That is what the bows will do. They will do automatically all your needs, especially a trilogy of them together, because then they are empowered to connect 1, 2, 3. Then my matrices show a quantum equation that is 3 minus 2 minus 1, or the counterclockwise negative charge of the Merkaba will give the 0. So the binary consciousness of the second level consciousness. Aborigines in Australia have 44 chromosomes. They are the first level consciousness of what? With 2.5 photons of light in the DNA. So the light filaments and puppet of God that they have is only 2.5 photons. And what happens with next level, which is now 7 billion people in planet Earth? It means the second level consciousness, it's a square consciousness. It's a consciousness that is only binary, 0, 1. It needs to be a third level consciousness consciousness, a true illusion. So we have harmony, and we are more contacted and linked to the own creator of all source of energy or life. So the both, since the pi is transcendental and goes to infinite of the sound and light that they have stored in the quartz, the photons are stored there. The photons don't go any further than 266,000 kilometers per second. But the quantum downloads, this is the ball, the transparent one, passes the quantum, and then it will connect by the Merkaba of trillions of trillions of trillions of Merkabas, which is the positive and negative, counter and clockwise movement, the electric and magnetic field, the opaque and the transparent. So we need both. That's why I advise for the starting pushover through a trilogy, and we decided to have a special prize for everybody on the show, $444. This is an Ocean Indian Blue Sea. At the end, I'm going to pull up your Kundalini, but now you need to liberate. See, our Almighty Creator wants that we are happy, that we are wise, and we are liberated. See? Usually they ask us if we are a religion. We are no religion. We're the unification of all the teachings of all the avatars by our own free will of deciding the conduct behavior we need to take. But nowadays, if you don't take the right conduct behavior, you're going to blow up. Why? Because your electric field is at 7.8 hertz moving, and the magnetic by the pull of planet Earth is on 14. So that's why people is committing suicide. They are getting crazy. They are having a lot of depression. They have bone aches. They have all types of sicknesses, because sickness is an imbalance. The electric, magnetic field, and atomic and molecular, cellular, etc., etc. So I see the faces that you some are very happy and understanding. I want a question now, please. Do you have any question?
When you said pi, do you mean the 3.14?
When
you said pi, you mean 3.14?
When I said
pi.
Pi is 1.68.
Oh, okay.
3.14. Pi is phi in English. I apologize. Phi, I showed you, but you didn't see it. Phi, P-H-I.
Oh, okay.
It is 168, which is an asymmetric figure like it's here. Unfortunately, we haven't have it up. I needed to expose it in a, like with a computer and with a screen and all of that, so you understand it a little better and faster. So no, the other one is a closed circle, the 3.1460, which is pi, but phi in English, the Spanish is backwards,
okay.
I apologize. But phi is 1.618, which is a logarithm asymmetric or the star of the angle. So, you have any other question, please?
Nothing he does is going to
yes?
what we do, the testing. So
well, I see you're very happy.
So how does the sound help us to bring us to consciousness?
How does
the
the sound? Okay. First of all, I was telling you about the unification in my works of advanced physics with geometry. Our Almighty Creator has three languages. One is math. But geometry is part of math. But the thing with geometry is that it will move the warp of space-time. See? Where we are all stick together and floating and sitting down even if we don't see it. Because it's multidimensional. It means it has different acceleration of the speed of light. My matrices have all their calculations in different acceleration of the speed of light. Geometry changes. See, for instance, a 60-degree triangle at the third dimension of physical reality shifts to a 72-degree one, and then it begins to curve. You see, that is geometry. So geometry with time is, in my work, is exactly together. Why? Because this is my definition of time, and it's extremely important that you understand, because the planet is now on 14 hertz. So the problem is time. Anti-gravity, it brings anti-gravity automatically because the word acceleration, so it's everything is speeding. See, more and more speed. You understand that? Okay. So consciousness is built up of only geometrical figures. My book, where is it book? It's there? May I, Evita, can you please pass me the book? This book, this is my work on the 2004. I advanced it in 2007, and the last advancement I did for it was the 2013. But I didn't find the one of the 2004. On this work, I explain very clearly what consciousness is with graphics. In relation to physics, quantum physics, to astrophysics, astronomy, acceleration, geometry, and of course our understanding of reality. So, in a way, let me just explain time, and then I go to the question. Time, in my definition, is in this book I still haven't published it because it needs to be finished. But I am in the last pool. So time is an acceleration which will go with a positive charge to accelerate. See, you understand that, okay? And a deceleration which will go with a negative charge, and automatically it's a Merkaba. You get the point? And always it's a law of physics that a Merkaba, the positive charge is down 1 octave hertz of the negative charge, which is the emotional, the mind, the soul, the spiritual realm of people, which you don't touch, but you know exists. It's a multi-dimensional conception of reality. So consciousness now is expanded. That's the new race kids. So what happens in consciousness with time? Time is an acceleration or deceleration of the speed of light with a location in space. So it means that there are many times in one space. So that's the reason you can have contact with spirits, with UFOs, with entities, with everything that is not in a mass body. You see? Because we have an emotional which works from 300,000 kilometers per second of the speed of light to 464,000 kilometers of the speed of light. Then it turns to mind. I have a matrix. Then the name, the semantics is not emotions. Astral worlds of consciousness. It is mind. Thinking. It's the same as acceleration. You understand? So this is the opening of the mind that I am teaching. Because most people is captured by religion, which is an opium of people. Because they have manipulated the C, the Z, the E, and then the heart chakra is completely not touched. Don't think the G, the A, and the B, which is the connection. So that is what I'm going to work now in your meditation. That's what the bolts are going to do for you. Connect, enhance, empower, clear, align, put you in rhythm. So you don't piss out and blow with the planet's acceleration. Okay, so in one space, we have many times. This is the Tower of Babel, but I use it for many things. I want to tell you about that graphic. In the 213, I have it in small here. This is the one of the book. You can see it has copyright because I already have it in the other book, the big one. The big one, which I have been working on that too, in colors and in black and white. So, that graphic is in my website. I have 4 matrices in my website of the quadrature of the circle. But that graphic was interested in a Japanese mathematician and physicist. In the 213, the Indians of Google got me the article of these scientists that made a complementary work of Einstein's field equations that demonstrate the same thing that I am demonstrated with geometry. But he did it with equations. So it means that we are unified. You understand? So that is the now time work of the planet Earth people. The transformation of consciousness. Okay, so now you understood what time is. In this space, you can have the infinite if you have a connection. That is what is illumination. And every creator, Paul, you know, not because Paul is here, but it's the truth. I have to speak the truth. It's my truth, and maybe it will resonate with some of you. There are other companies with singing bowls around the world. Some of them are a disaster. I hope you never get those bowls. They'll hurt, turn you backwards, anything. I mean, the DNA, consciousness, and your health. But there are others that are about. They won't hurt you. They flow. But the bowls we have are superior. But our bowls, and this is volumes that makes them, are the most beautiful, and no one, I bet, will make them as beautiful and good in quality for the service they are doing in the body. And he deserves an applause because he's always working, studying. Please, Paul, stand up.
That's okay.
Okay. I tell you, he's always studying. We get new gems, and then I'm like the physicist of the company, and then I tell them for what they are good, some gold, some gems, and we have to market them. So, well, so this is how it works. Okay, now I'm passing to consciousness. Consciousness works in 3 levels. The aborigines with 1.5 photons absorption of light. Then that's 7 billion people, most of them, with from 3 to 6, second level of consciousness, photons of light, which is a conflictive, binary, 0-1 consciousness. It has a lot of aggression, it has a lot of desires, the C, the T, the E, fears, ignorance. See? And the conduct behavior when the heart, the pureness of the heart, is something. You understand? Okay. That conduct behavior and that level of consciousness is destroying itself. We need to help them, the ones that we understand that. Because we need at least 11% of the population of planet Earth to transform the new frequencies that the planet already has. See? We need to make resonance to have peace. Peace is a magical word, but it's understandable. We have a broad, wide, opening consciousness, a multidimensional consciousness of respect to God, to ourselves, and to others. That's the synthesis of the teachings of Jesus, which is the last avatar that came to the planet. That is Christ consciousness. I call it galactic, because that is when we are connected to our Almighty Creator in an atomic, molecular, cellular bodies. Okay, consciousness is built up of only geometrical patterns. This is the combination of our brain. We have 2 hemispheres which are in a pipe. You understand that? So that is how it works. And science is not advanced for that. They don't understand. Because it has to be unfolded, and then there's the secrets of time, there's the secrets of all your bodies, and how in consciousness you have geometrical figures. This is the way it works. It's in the new book. Consciousness is built up of the impressions, or electric impressions that we get every 7 years by the 5 senses. The second level of consciousness got only until that 8, it's like a rectangular, and then it has 8 geometrical figures that are on cerebroglobulina beta, which is a protein that will move the Merkaba of the absorption of light and energy from the environment, of what you process in your impressions of 5 senses. It will build 8 figures in 7 years. It will go one like that. Then, when you finish the vertical axis, then you have the 42, because it will be 42 years and 48 rooms. Each space is built of a geometrical pattern that is called a room, and it's over cerebroglobulina beta. And the impressions go into your fluid and your nervous fluid. So then, that is how we are pouring electrons in a photon absorption. since our content behavior is not correct. I don't know if you understand this. If not, please ask me. It's very important. Somebody would like to ask something, please. It's very important what I say. Yes, ma'am.
So, like, basically, all of what you're saying, this is not in people's heads that time seems to be, like, going more rapidly and rapidly. That's actually happening. You're saying time is speeding up as we progress.
Yes, you understood very well. But that has a lot of consequences in our DNA, in our consciousness, in the alignment, in the rhythm, in the clearing, because we are not clearing the heart. You see, it means it has to have, to produce tachyonic energy, you need to have the pureness of 533,066 kilometers per second of the speed of light in fifth dimension in the horizontal axis. But in the vertical axis, which is the axis of the trilogy, the vertical trilogy of the direct descension of light of our Almighty Creator, it is on the -6, which is around 942,000 kilometers per second. So the planet now has to go to fifth dimension, not only fourth as it is, it's going up. Now Gaia is going to Dara, and then to the seventh, which is a 1,262,618 kilometers per second of the speed of light, which is the vertical trilogy of the matrices. But that means when you are doing a Merkaba, you can see the figure of the Merkaba like that, blah, 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 and you're inside. Here. Here. Okay, just imagine you are inside the Merkaba. Let me fix it. This will work. It has 26 lines or filaments of light or sound. It depends on the organ of perception. As the rooms are formed in 42 years, and then we have 2 lines of rooms that are for the superhumanity, the new race people from third level consciousness, which absorb from 7 to 12 photons, which are all the problems of the ADHD in the counterclockwise flow, because they are to hyperspace and they cannot ground reality. So I cannot explain too much because I don't have time. But just imagine yourself here, you see? You're going to be inside, but you know how you form these in yourself? These light filaments are 26, which is the number of Yod, He, Bao, He. But Yod, He, Bao, He is not a God. It is a frequency of vibration, so you can connect with Him. You understand that?
That's the name of God.
And yeah, exactly.
Tetragrammaton.
But it is for you to be connected to the only one, the creator of 8 universes in one cosmos. See? Because Yod Heba is a frequency. See? But that frequency will permit you to go farther, because these lines are in the warp of space. See? And when you do the Merkaba, it is like when you have, look my show like this. Just see the example and you're going to understand, because it took me a lot of time to put it in this example. This is the Merkaba, because the boats are doing the Merkaba simultaneously with trillions of Merkabas. So you absorb, and clear, and put away all the storage and the garbage you have in yourself. So look, this is the warp of space-time, okay? The lines. Then they are there. One is like this, and the other one goes like that, up, like this. So you understand what I'm doing. When I do this, it's with the purpose that I will detox your brain, because the corpus callosum divides both hemispheres, but in the new race, it is very soft, and the communication is very, very easily. But in the second level consciousness, as most of you are, it is not easily. So it packs the energy so high, it's acceleration. So this is the Merkaba, how it goes. This is 1, 2, 3 dimension. It's a line of the warp of space-time. Okay? And this is the counterclockwise 1 octave hertz up, 14 hertz of planetary. This is the electric field and the electron and photons inside the quantum. And here the photons, because it's physical, you see it. Light as a ray is a force in movement of the sun. But when you absorb it in the impressions of electric things that you are recording in your wounds of the brain, it passes through the nervous system, and it is a subatomic particle called photon that gives you 3 to 6 second level consciousness in your DNA, or 7 to 12 to the third level galactic of Christ consciousness. Okay. Now we're here in the Merkaba, okay? One of them. Then this is the way to do it. When you get into Merkaba, you need to understand very well the rules of the game, so you do it well. But there is one mysterious thing that I want to tell you. The balls do the enchantment magic on each other. You don't have to do it. The balls will do it. All you have to do is manifest at least 3 balls. From there, a 7. You understand? 7. Because we're working with the force of the rock space-time. See? That is more important than our planet. You see, because the planet is in need and we are in need. But individually, it is a transformation. Each one of us has to do the work. You don't care about, if I have a son and he's so stupid and he doesn't want to do this, he doesn't want to understand. My husband, you do the work. Then 1 plus 1, you will be resonated one of you high, and then others in India, others in China will be resonated, and that will bring anti-gravity, Dharma. You get the point? The important, okay. Then, this is how to do it in the Merkaba, but you have to learn more. This is the work of space-time, see? You have to pull yourself like this, like fold yourself in it like this, and be part of the work of the Merkaba in 1, 2, 3 dimension, and 4, 5, 6 on dimension. And then it will start the pie automatically with the balls. Of course, if you do it with the balls, you will be protected. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Protected means that you will not be unbalanced and go to, like, be walking and fall. See, with the balls, you are enhanced, you are strengthened, you are empowered. See, with energy. Do you have any question? You're smart, you're learning, you're understanding.
We wrap ourselves in the Merkaba?
Yeah.
And that bowls are helping with this process?
Yes. You don't see it, but that is why Paul and I get together so well. Because he works the scientific part of the bowls, and Peter works the mystical. But I work both, the mystical and the scientist part. So we discuss many things together because the brain, my brain works both at the same time because I am educated by myself. I work multidimensional since I was a teenager. But that's what I'm teaching you, so you do it, because now if you don't do it, you cannot be in the planet. That's the whole point. Nobody that doesn't resonate with 14 hertz can live. They're going to be dying. And what will cause more catastrophes? That's why it's so important. Whenever we have the finger of our Almighty Creator and we lean to Him, we will stay. No matter if the UFOs come and take us out, no matter if whatever happens, we will survive. Because we are doing the work and we are people, we are producing the correct energy, see? With our conduct behavior and the application of our heart and our mind. But all of those that are more, that don't understand because they are not connected, that is what's done on purpose by religions, by education, by fears, by egos, by bad desires. See? So those that are not connected, they need to see examples because they will resonate with tsunamis, earthquakes, the ice that is melting. We can evade the shifting of the poles because the one that will happen is Nibiru. Nibiru is the one that is coming that will cause the shifting of the poles. But look, we are being very much helped by seven extraterrestrial civilizations that we have their genetics. So they are Andromeda, which is the chief consort. He's the United Nations of all our Milky Way galaxy. See? Andromeda. It's another galaxy. They are our guys. They work 7 dimensions, 5,500 years of evolution. It means if we are here, passing to the fourth, our body, they have 5,000 years ahead of us. Imagine, of our time. It's a lot. They are up. But they feel they want to help. They're helping. I have been witness of many things with the UFOs in the air. Have it in my YouTube channel. So Andromeda is one, which is the one that I say, then Arcturians, then Pleiades, because we are Pleiades. Pleiades, Arcturians build the Pleiades, Arcturians. Then the Pleiades is also 750 years in future. Can you open this so I teach them? This is how time, you ask me outside. This is very well done because I did it here in New York. That was done in Mexico. And this is better done. See? But I want you to see here that here is the future. Futuro, future. You see it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Here it is past. So it's a parallel universe. When the warp of space-time is moving, we have interconnections of cause and effect. They interconnect and it's called a 0 point. See? With any acceleration. It doesn't matter. At a 0 point, you can go to infinite and come down without distance, without space, without time, because that is part of now. You understand? So here we are. They are 750 years, which is our future. We are ourselves evolved already, Pleiadians. And this is a parallel universe, but it's interconnected. Here it tells how. I know how.
So this is how we're able to get glimpses into the future.
This is
because this stuff is happening simultaneously, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it is happening above you and interior in yourself. Because as it's above, it's below, as Todd said. So I just want you to know that this is also how our circumambulation of our brain works, see? Which is a geometry.
It's interesting that it's like in the shape of a spiral.
It is.
And that's a pattern in most of nature.
Yeah.
Shells.
Yeah. That is like
plants unfurl in a spiral.
Yes.
Yeah. Our brains.
So I tell you, how do we clear the problems in our room? You know how? We have to record them in certain exercises that I know. For instance, that I work with people. It's very simple. And I work a lot with ADHD people. It's mostly teenagers and kids. I don't like to work with grown-ups. It's very difficult. They have to really want it. It's very difficult. Because they have to
pattern themselves.
Their rooms in order. So that is something that we need. But the bones start to do it. You know, they peel. They take all the corrosion, all the detox they have to do. You don't know if they do it. See? Especially if you empower at least 3. Because now the problem is so big that you need at least 3 and a second. But it depends in how much you can play. How much time I have, Paul?
5 minutes.
Okay, then we'll do the little meditation so everybody feels. Thank you. Can anybody just take some Paul comes to help me with the notes? Because
Sure.